Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notifications from YouTube.
When was South Africa allowed to play cricket again in the international area?
Maybe about 25 years back.
1990.
Yeah.
30 years.
30 years now.
Is it 30 years in history? Is it a time? Too minuscule. You understand? Now in this modern world, till 1990, South Africa had the discrimination, we will not allow blacks.
Right.
They said no. And the rest of the communities, world cricket boards decided, if you have this racist feeling, we will not play with you. And there were great players like Barry Richards. Yeah, sure. Oh, we have never seen him. Yeah. Because he was caught in this time. Right. And 30 years ago they changed. Is 30 years a time? It is too minuscule. You mean to say for the long hurt, these 30 years all the wounds would be healed?
Right, I understand.
So you have to have that patience. Right. Because some of the wounds are very deep. It will heal. So what we need to make them understand, like how we treat the British today. They hurt us badly. But how do we treat them today? Saying, yeah, you made a mistake. Now, okay, we'll play cricket together. For what you have done to my nation, I should not even look at you. My wounds are not healed. But we are saying, okay, let's grow. We have a relationship. Let's do trade. Let's do this and that. We are trying to take them along for the hurt what they have done. Some good policies and good way connected and made us saying, okay. Otherwise, it is impossible to forgive British.
Very true.
But today we don't hate them so much.
Yeah. Slowly we started.
The British looted us more than anybody else. People invaded. In spite of their invasion, we were still rich. Who made us to what we are? Macaulay, for the damage what he has done. Today, you see a Britisher, we still say, let's shake hands, it's okay. We have accepted that guy because this chap is not responsible for my forefathers suffering. So we understand saying it is not your fault, leave it. Therefore we accept. Similar acceptance will come. Only on these bases I said Varna is almost gone.
Okay.
Racism in the world, all around the world, mostly dissolved. In few places it could be rigid. But most of the places the racist feeling, white supremacy, all that is gone. At least superficially, it is not there. Deep down some people may have. But most of them have transcended it. All are treated equal, anybody can become anything. Now that way the world has opened to all race. So this also what you're talking about in India, it needs time to heal. Some wounds will take little time, but we are taking corrective measures. And things are moving. The best way, quickly, what could be the quickest way to heal? Everybody should be told what is their dignity. If everybody is told you are only Brahman, you are divine, no matter what you are. And that's what the books tell. Amrutasya putraha. All of us are children of immortality. Hinduism says that everybody is divine. Original texts. You and I are part of the divine. Way of life could have treated. Way of life could have been bad. And to expect all of a sudden all the wounds to be healed, not easy. Because you know why? Some are keeping it alive. Some are opening the wounds again and again.
Yeah, to make their life comfortable,
To make
a lot of parties have come.
To make their life comfortable. The supremacy also treats. Now you see, when we say, that's why I said Varna problem is over. Now you should not look at it from Varna standpoint. You should start looking at it from Jati standpoint. Jati fights are on. The most of the fights which we see are from different communities. One looking superior to the other.
Still this honor killing is a very stupid maximum.
You understand. Yeah. So to a large extent, this will dissolve in the coming time, just like Varna dissolved.
Okay.
This will dissolve. Just like white supremacy dissolved and today all are okay. This will go. But people from all sides, from all communities, will who has not got clarity or who has vested interest,
Will continue to give further wound.
but it will dissolve.
It will dissolve.
Wound is from two sides, right? You have to understand. But the wound can be from the other side also. So we have to keep this in mind, that the wound will heal. In a period of time it will go. Like the intensity of various things have dissolved, this will also dissolve. And the best way for this to dissolve, the quickest way to heal, the quickest way to bring back is access to the original books.
Fantastic. That's what you're saying.
That only will make people change.
Access to who is going to communicate, people like you, Guruji.
No, it will
That's
come.
why my objective itself is to take it to as many people.
No.
Address the discrimination, why it came, what is the solution for that. That's where you are
The
coming.
solution is no one is inferior, no one is superior. The karma cannot be discriminated as superior karma, inferior karma.
That was my next.
It cannot be discriminated that way. Dignity of labor has to be understood. The work what you do has to be seen as worship, and you should continue. A person born in a most economical backward community should have access to the highest knowledge. If that person aspires to become a civil servant, IAS officer, he should be provided. The vegetable vendor's son or daughter wants to become ISR or scientist, it should be provided the temperament. Same way as people from different communities should be willing to do it. Today, let's talk about the things offered, how a thinker should be or a Brahmin should be. What is the lifestyle people follow today? Are all sticking to Vedas? No. Then you do leather business.
Yeah, precisely, I was about to ask you one
when you do
supplementary
leather
question in
business,
that. Yeah. How can I?
Is it in the principles? So what are you? By guna, what are you?
Right. I'm a businessman, Vaishya.
Vaishya. Bas. Now why do you take the tag of a Brahmin there?
Right.
Because by guna, this is why, and in which way are you inferior? Vaishya is not inferior.
Perfect.
Kshatriya is not inferior. Brahmana is not inferior. Nor a Shudra is inferior. It is different labor, classification of labor, duty, work, etc. In which way? Now you should not look at it inferior.
Right.
I was born in this family, but my liking is for, let us say, business. Then you are a businessman, Vaishya. And somebody born in a Vaishya family wants to be a scientist. Then he comes into the thinker class.
It is happening, yeah. Correct.
So it is neither. So when we look at it, guna and karma, nobody is inferior or superior. Everybody will follow their passion. This comes inside, then that unnecessarily superior, inferior, you hurt me, all this will go. And very simple, this people from any community coming to become priests is a good sign to be welcomed. And the real well-trained priests, not all priests are well-trained, because I run temples, I know them, okay. Not all priests are really trained and not all priests live according to it. The qualities of a priest is deteriorated. Not all, some. You understand? So we cannot say. So the people who are really good priests doing it should take these people and empower. Because by guna and karma that fellow is qualified now. Right. Then it will go. Then things can happen faster. Number one. Basic knowledge should reach. What the Vedas talk, what the Gita speaks, what the Upanishad speaks should reach. If it gets to the common people, then they will understand it's my life. I have to live my life. I have my own goal. These are unwanted things on which I am wasting my time. A person do not know his goal of life. Therefore, he is meandering in all the social issues. Then you find yourself a better purpose. So this best would be what is our heritage, which is the Vedas, has to reach people across all communities, they'll be empowered. When you make a person think, his lifestyle changes. These film stars have great following. How many of them are thinkers in the followers? What fights they have?
Plenty.
And ready to do anything.
Yeah, ready to do anything to stay where they are, and they don't want to give up anything.
And what has this film star got to do with them in their life? Nothing. But some identity, they hold on to it, they do it. If they start thinking, they'll say, yes, I appreciate his skills for acting. I would like to watch his movie. He's an entertainer. Bas, it ends. Entertainer is seen as God. Ridiculous. Only a non-thinking following can put these people there. An entertainer has to be seen as an entertainer. But you're seeing the entertainer as your life, your ideal. And you will fight tooth and nail not knowing what that person's real nature is to defend. You live in your own world, a bubble. This bubble will burst if they become thinkers. Yeah, everybody watches movie, everybody watches television. There are different people, they do different things. You appreciate. I like to watch this person's movie is completely different from this guy is my hero. This guy is my everything. I will, fight tooth and nail for him. He'll remove his shirt and I will wave my hand. How disgusting that is. Even today, people go and stand in front of their houses just to have a glimpse. What use is it? Will a thinker ever do this?
Right. So basically, the education has to permeate into the society much.
This education, what is there, is not doing it. We have tried it for 70 years.
Right.
This education has never done it.
Right.
This education has not taught you how to handle anger.
Okay.
This education has not taught you how to handle jealousy.
Right.
I am talking about Vedic education,
Okay.
which served for this many years. Bring that back. And what is Vedic education? Absolutely universal. It is completely universal. That has to be brought in. If that comes back into our system, people will become thinkers.
Okay. So can I go to the next question? The other question was like 2 more sessions under the heading we can bring the question is this marriage as an institution. All the youngsters now currently are asking, does the marriage as an institution, does it exist anymore? The second thing is woman discrimination is the highest order today, in the sense men are allowed to do all the rituals, pujas and all that, women are not allowed. Why this discrimination is happening? Should the parents force their children to get married for what? Progeny? Why they should at all get married? Leave them alone. All these questions are going on into their mind, and probably these are all I'm talking of educated people. The slowly lesser educated being pushed into the system at the age of 25, 26, you get married, you produce children, you find work and all that. But I'm talking of slowly the education system is improving. Now the marriage as an institution, if it's a Brahmin's marriage, a particular way of conducting the marriage, that is being questioned by the Brahmin boys and girls itself. Similarly, if it is a Mudaliar or any caste system, they have this institution. Slowly it is also changing. But what is the answer? The older system must have had some good points. Are they going to, somebody is going to say to this generation, these are the good points, you should continue, or ignore everything and be like registered marriage kind of a thing, get away from it.
This happens because they neither understand the mantra, what is being chanted, or why is it being chanted.
Absolutely.
So they do not know why
Correct.
and what. Both they do not know.
Correct.
Because it is still in Sanskrit.
Right.
And that language is not familiar to people.
Right.
When Sanskrit is not familiar, that is only noise to you.
Right. Absolutely. Perfect.
You understand? So a person sitting there, going through an elaborate ritual, doesn't understand why.
Perfect.
Or what is being chanted.
Right.
So if the respect for marriage as an institute has to come, all this has to be taught to them, explained to them correctly.
Okay, but that's not just happening at all.
How many institutes are there doing it?
I don't think.
The priest who's coming, trained.
Yeah.
Priest, is he doing this job?
No, at all.
Ah.
Not at all.
Now you see how, look at his qualification there.
Yeah. Okay.
He should be really understanding today's youth has this challenge.
Correct.
In a wedding, I should do it in such a way that I convince them why this is important, what this mantra means.
Right.
Explaining it clearly.
Right.
Explaining it keeping science in mind.
Right.
Explaining it keeping social values in mind.
Right.
Keeping civilizational tradition in mind, he should explain. If this is done, the people will know. If this is not done,
Okay.
which to expect from them now is little too much, because these people will not do.
Right.
We should create institutes. When people get engaged,
Right.
they should do a course which will guide them.
No, but they are asking whether to engage itself.
No, I'm coming to the point. When people get engaged or people decided to live together, okay, they're not coming to marriage, but they're going to live together. Living together also doesn't, it's not that people living together are happy.
Right, I understand.
It's just that it is an easy way out. If they want to step out of the wedding, there are different laws. When you're living in and when you want to step out, the laws are different. I'm not going there. When two people are in love,
Okay.
or two people get engaged, which is still happening.
Yeah.
Don't say that engagements are not
Sure,
there.
sure,
Right. Engagements are still happening. People are still in love. To them, we should do. We are working out in our mission also to do a 7-session program or 12-session program by which they go through this. What is marriage? What is the vision behind marriage? When you are married, what you should do? What is love? What is responsibility? Why this is? How it should help each other to move forward? How Grahastha has to be seen as an ashram in seeking the highest? How both of you can help each other to move to your next level of evolution? Okay, so what is the fulfillment of a marriage? These things have to be taught. How to accommodate each other has to be taught, because we have to understand, as you touched also about women in this issue, we have to understand for a very long time this kind of an education what we have, women didn't have access.
Right.
To Vedic knowledge they had access. Please understand. Never forget that. Women had access to Vedic knowledge.
I see.
Yeah. Goddess Saraswati. Veda Mata we call her. Goddess, na? Women only.
Right.
Show me in which woman was not educated in our history. Sita was not educated. Sita did not know what is Vedas. Draupadi didn't know. Maitreya didn't know. She used to sit and discuss with Yajnavalkya, his wife. Gargi. They were all educated. How many queens in India? Modern world was not there. So in what were they educated? To become a queen. Women were educated or not?
Yeah, sure, must
In
have.
the past, you
Yeah.
understand, women were educated.
Correct.
And different lifestyles were given. Okay. And the point here is, when I am born and in Hindus, we believe in multiple births, because from unicellular organism we evolve and we reach the highest.
Right.
Okay. So in the process from unicellular to divine, I take multiple births.
Right.
Maybe a worm,
Right.
maybe a boar, monkey, cow, parrot, different births, a dolphin in the sea. Then I come as human. If my tendencies are human, then I continue as human. If my tendencies are more animalistic, I may go into the lower birth again, come back. So multiple births I take. And in the multiple births, I would have been born as a woman many times. And I would have been born as a man many times. Okay, I would have been born in any gender. How many times? So when I am in a man's thing, these roles you follow. When you are a woman, these roles you follow. Now certain responsibilities given to women looks very discriminatory. Because today people think this is the only life for women. You understand? In that all rights were taken away. That same woman by Hindu philosophy or Buddhist or Jain or Sikh, which all believes in reincarnation, and reincarnation science has proved, would have been a man earlier. So we had a system of responsibilities. Okay. So one responsibility was looking after the home. Truly speaking, all great men or women have emerged only from the mother's attention and love and care. A child needs it. Psychiatry will also tell you how much attention a mother has to give. If that is denied, the upbringing of a child would be disastrous. Some of the people today could be the wealthiest people in the world. Their childhood would be horrible, and you can see the traits. Think. So the mother's attention upon a child is very important. So naturally it has to revolve around the home. So when I am born as a woman, this is the role I play. When I am born as a man, this is the role I play. But when we don't see it from this larger view, and then I see only one life woman is born and everything else is denied for her, then it becomes highly discriminative. So I'm saying, when responsibilities were given, you need to see it from here. Your mother would have been a man before, and you would have been a woman before.
The chromosome could have been different.
Born. So when I am born as a man, certain rules which I can live. As a woman, there are certain rules which people analyze which would be the best for them. Now this is how the system came, and what you call as women being discriminated, it was not discriminated, it was given these kind of responsibilities, saying that Jiva goes through multiple. Today, people have a doubt in that itself. Is there a rebirth? Are there multiple births? Now that's a different discussion altogether, which can be proved. But there are different ways to prove that you were born many times before. Okay. Now let's go back. Now looking at that women are born this way, and these are the responsibilities which we call discriminatory, I do agree. If you see it only from that whole, that she has got just one life and we have ruined her life with responsibilities, highly discriminative. Now that has changed. We say women also can come into front line and be there, and women were there in the front line in the past, but not all of them, because majorly they were responsible. Otherwise, queen had no rule. There wouldn't have been queens leading this country. How many queens have led this country? And if you really go back, even to the days of Chandragupta, or if you go back to the days of Krishnadevaraya, they had women as bodyguards, well trained. Absolutely trained women, I am talking history. Trained women as bodyguards, escorts. Chandragupta had at Chanakya's time. And people were trained for different things. Coming back now, today when men and women are educated
And equal, they claim.
they're coming, is man trained to treat a woman equally?
Okay, that's a very, very, very fair point. It doesn't exist even for me. I mean, it looks conceited for me to say, oh, she is very good in her competency, as if the man is higher, and say woman, oh.
So basically, a woman who was taking household responsibilities, man is well trained to take care of her. A woman comes into a career, is man educated how to handle a career woman?
Okay, it's not there.
It's not there. The course which we are doing, I said, which we are creating, will address this issue.
Fantastic.
Which will address this issue. How a man should know to respect a career woman. This needs to be addressed. Because man knows how to
Will
handle...
there be taking from men? I mean, already is a fellow, conceited fellow man. Will he go through this course?
No,
Will he come into this course?
No. Your analysis is incorrect. How many people are absolutely clear in their thinking in respecting women? Today's men I'm talking.
Yeah,
I work with young people.
Sure.
I know how they regard women.
Okay.
How they respect
Now,
women.
I see my son respecting women. Correct.
You understand?
I'm talking about the earlier generation.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So for the coming generation, young people, I'm not talking about bringing vanaprasthas and coaching them, right? I'm talking about people who are in love or people who are engaged should go through this course, in which we will educate a man mainly how to respect a career woman. And what would be the role of a career woman at home If you are marrying a career woman, what is your role at home?
Fantastic.
And how do you handle your mother who was not a career woman?
Right.
This has to be addressed if this clarity is thrown correctly. And what is the objective of marriage? Just progeny,
Yeah, that's
which is one.
yeah, one of them.
One of the objects. Objective of the marriage is both walk together. Each one sees other person home. A long journey in your evolution. You help each other and reach the higher state of consciousness. Reach the higher state, go to divine. Basically, the human goal, we discussed it earlier, the human goal is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Four purushartha. So in marriage, both should help to cross through.
Okay.
It should be helping. You have accepted, you help each other to go through this. And you live life helping each other for 20-25 years. 20 years or 25 years of grahastha ashram. Then you become vanaprastha. At least for another 15 years. Vanaprastha, not taking responsibility of children, business, etc. Preparing yourself for an exit into sannyas. Then you walk completely. So this ashrama is collapsed today. Vanaprastha ashrama is not there.
Right.
You are a grahastha till end.
Correct.
That's not right. So here we have to educate. This ashrama is till when? Till when are you a grahastha? What you are expected to do certain things till when? To this point of time. After that, what should be your goal in life? Vanaprastha, what is your objective? Serving each other? No. Together you serve something else.
Right.
Today a person's mind is, you are married to me, serve me till my end. This is not correct. This has to be corrected.
Right.
So, how a man should respect a career woman has to be brought in, because men do not know about this.
That's where the psychiatrists, new breed psychiatrists are making
They
a lot of
are,
money. They're just saying counseling session come before marriage.
Doesn't really work. When you have counseling has very minimum results. The counseling should be in line with dharma, artha, kama, moksha. If a counseling happens keeping moksha in mind, then you are guiding them to the goal. Otherwise, you are trying to throw a solution, live here. Then a person feels, what next? Okay, this problem is solved, what next? Till the end, I'm again a grahastha and die. No, I have to evolve. See, basically, we should tell people the success of human birth is you are born human. By the time you die, you should be divine. This is the goal of life. Why are you born? No choice, I am born. Very sorry, no. You came here with a choice. What is the purpose of your birth? Purpose of your birth is, I reach the divine. If this has to be taught, that I am born human, by the time I die, it should be divine. Now, bring into marriage, two people coming saying, we are human, let us fulfill the human vasanas, let us create the world better, let us provide good progeny who will take care of the future days of the world too, and let us help each other home. Home here is divine. This is what it is. If this is well taught, it will lead you there.
Sure.
If this is not taught, then there will be a problem. So basically again we are coming back to, these are the basics the school should have taught. Gurukula taught this. Gurukula taught this clearly. Very clear responsibilities. Gurukula taught. But Gurukula was destroyed. When British took over, see, when Islam invasions happened, wherever Islam dominated, the Gurukula went underground. At British time, it was annihilated. If they found a Gurukula, then they were put in jail. So Gurukula system destroyed. And naturally, some other system came to place. Useless system which doesn't even teach you how to live, doesn't teach you how to handle anger, doesn't teach you what is a woman's role or a man's role, what this is, doesn't teach you dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So such shallow thing. That's where I go back. If people can have access to the original texts, their life will change.
That's what the mission, Chinmaya mission is planning.
Not just in many
Many
organizations
organizations, collectively it has to,
trying to do it.
fantastic, Guruji. Outstanding.
Many organizations are attempting.
Attempting.
Huh.
So in terms of the women, like coming to job, their question is also asking, Malaya Ma say you guys are doing, why we are not allowed to do? Is that similar?
Is that Shruti or Smriti?
Yeah, I understood you. I was about to say it is Smriti when
It is Smriti changed.
change.
Yeah. Like I give you an example of my family.
Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notifications from YouTube.